for today's class. You can pause the video for a moment and go grab a blanket or some pillows to prop up in a fashion like this. Your head can be a little higher and your spine will lay on here. You'll keep your tailbone on the floor and your spine will rest onto the pillows. And take a moment to uncover how much space you're needing to take up today. Do you need a little bit more room and restful opening up and release? And if that's the case, your arms could explore being straight out to the sides with your palms facing upward. If you're needing to be a little bit more held or cozy, maybe your hands come in and just rest against your abdomen. This practice is a practice that is just for you here on your mat. Nothing to do or undo. A moment to just check in, listen to the inner wisdom that we all have. Letting your breath slow down, especially your exhale. Inviting your nervous system to relax. As all this spring energy bubbles up around us, what can you invite in and receive that just cares for you a little bit more? And what old habits can be let go of so that the new things can grow? Letting gravity be a gentle hug. And then we're going to deepen the breath rhythm and start to practice, as long as this feels good for you, breathing in for about 4 seconds and then holding the breath for a moment at the top, and then we'll exhale for 6 seconds. If for some reason that's not comfortable, please return to normal breath. So just take a deep breath in, abdomen, rib cage, everything expands. And then let it go all the way out. And then breathe in, 4, 3, 2, 1, and pause. Exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1, and pause. Exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold. Exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last 3 rounds. Breathe in, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold, retaining your breath. Exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1, and pause. Exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold. Last retention here. Exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And let your breathing rhythm return to normal. Maybe a noisy exhale if you'd like. And then start to stretch your legs out long. Arms can reach up overhead, toes to fingertips. And then palms stay facing upwards and bend your elbows, making goalpost arms or cactus arms. And then use your shoulder blades to kind of push into and squeeze the blanket or pillow that is underneath you. If you're laying flat on your back, just keep your elbows and hands hovering above the ground. Squeeze your core in a little bit, beginning to wake up that muscle group. And as you breathe in, bring your hands up overhead almost as if you're making snow angels. And as you exhale, core engaged, elbows come in by your sides, shoulder blades press into the pillow. Inhale, fingertips come right back up. Exhale, elbows down in by your sides. Breathe in and lift. Exhale, in by your sides. Last two. Breathe in, and then exhale. Relax your arms. You can remove the props out from underneath you as you roll off to one side. And then return onto your back. Knees draw into your chest. Arms reach out wide to the sides. Palms facing up. If that's not comfy, always feel free to explore any other option that is. It's your practice. And then extend your right leg all the way out long and gently push your right heel down into the ground. Shoulders soften and continue to push right heel down. Full breath. See if you can engage your core a little bit more. When your abdomen squeezes, it's as if your lower back pushes down in towards the ground. And then keep pushing your right heel down and stretch your left heel up. Toes pull down towards you on that left foot and keep reaching out through your right heel. Push, push, push. And then bend your left knee. Keep your abdomen engaged and begin to roll onto your right side so that your left knee can reach to the right. But we're not relaxing and dumping into this twist. You're going to keep pushing your right heel down. Squeeze your core in. And it's as if your left knee is trying to reach to the right, but your shoulders are trying to stay glued to the ground, and your core is doing that oppositional work, not your arms. Fully breathing at the same time. Maybe wiggling your toes around, maybe just being still and observing the back of your head resting on the ground. And then come back through the middle. Both knees draw into your chest. And then left leg stretches all the way out. Left heel begins to push down. Core squeezes in a little bit to push your lower back, your lumbar spine, down towards the ground. Eyes can be opened or closed, whatever feels more stable and supportive to you today. Continue to push your left heel down and then start to extend your right leg up towards the ceiling. Again, core is squeezing in. You're pushing out through both heels. Right heel pushes up, toes pull down, and left heel pushes down into the ground. So you're pretty active. I've been enjoying all the different ways that different flowers bloom in the springtime. And we have this one plant where it has a really big bud, because not just one flower comes out of that bud, but there's several branches of flowers that come out of one bud. And sometimes things just grow a little bit bigger, a little bit quicker, but there's still that same goal of connecting to the sunshine, digging roots a little bit deeper, gathering water, and just being, even in that place of growth, even when growth happens a little quicker than we might anticipate. Bend your right knee. Arms continue to reach out wide with palms up, and roll onto your left side. Right knee reaching way over to the left. Core squeezing so your shoulders stay glued to the ground. Abdomen draws in even though your knee is trying to reach so far to the left. Notice your face and the back of your head. Are you carrying any tension there? Can you just let the ground in your practice be what supports you? There's nothing you need to do or be for anybody else right now. Just tune in, time in. Couple more big breaths, keeping everything real active here. And then come back through the middle. Both feet set down to the ground. Arms can continue to reach out wide to the sides. And then just lift your hips like an inch or two off the ground. Really low bridge pose. Maybe you rock your head a little bit side to side. And just help massage the little small muscles that wrap around the back of your skull. Notice each individual toe resting on the ground and rooting down. Observe the temperature of the air on your skin. And in this low bridge, we start to really target the glutes. It's very slow, very subtle. But just see how much you can invite that full 360 breathing into your body as you hold here. So your abdomen expands like a balloon as you breathe in. Your rib cage expands. It's not just upper chest. And when you breathe that deeply, you might even feel the muscles around your spine moving as well. So it's the idea of practicing breathing with your entire body. Get it as big as you can. Still hovering really low. Don't let your hips lift up way high. Waking up the glutes to support us throughout the rest of our practice today. Notice any sounds that may be happening around you right now. Be it the sound of your own breathing, the music, or something that's outside of the space that you're in. And notice your fingertips in the air. Two more full breaths right here. And then hips lower back down. Full breath in, toes to fingertips. And then as you exhale, bring your knees into your chest. Hands reach forwards, palms facing down, and squeeze everything in as tightly as you can. And then extend your right leg out long. Everything's still crunching in so tightly. And then extend your left leg out long. It's like we're trying to push your spine, your lower back into the ground because it's so rounded, core is so engaged. And then right knee comes back in and re-extends. Left knee comes in and re-extends. Just back and forth like that here. Option to keep the hands reaching forwards. Or if you don't lose any stability when you explore this, you're welcome to reach your hands up and back. If there's any, what feels like maybe a little popping in the hips, you need more core strength. So really squeeze everything in. Shoulders lift up, head lifts up, and maybe just keep your hands reaching forward. Back and forth a few more times. Pausing with both feet out each time. Once more on each side. And then keep your head and shoulders up, but reach both legs straight up. Not way up close to your head, but straight up. And as you exhale, reach up towards your toes like you're trying to tap your toes. And then lower almost all the way back down. And then exhale, reach up again. So back and forth with your breath. Even though it's not a huge motion, go slow. Maybe a pause at the top to reach towards your toes, saying hi to your core muscles, waking those up too to support our practice today. Last one. And then relax, knees into chest. Breathe in, full body stretch, toes to fingertips. Exhale. Make your way into downward facing dog. If you like rock and rolls, you're welcome to those. If you'd rather roll off to the side, roll off to the side. You can feel free to explore and pedal the legs out a little bit. Maybe tilting the hips off to one side, and heels can rotate to help you find a side stretch. Still continuing that full breath, breathing with your entire body. Noticing what it feels like to bring in your muscles a little bit more, to get your muscles to squeeze your bones. So hands really push the ground away from you. Core squeezes to get a little longer. And then breathe in, look forward. Exhale, begin to tiptoe your way to the top of the yoga mat. Inhale, halfway lift up, spine gets long, shoulders draw away from the ground. Grip with your big toes and explore pushing your feet outwards a little as you bend your knees and forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, slowly unfold, coming all the way up. Arms lift up, all the way out through your fingertips. Breathing here. Glutes squeeze at the top. Keep gripping with your big toes and push your feet apart on the mat. Spread your fingers and notice the very tips of your fingers in the air. Bringing your thumbs and your pinky fingers together and continue to reach upwards, creating a little lotus flower with your hands. Feet rooting down as you lift up. Core and glutes are both supporting you here. And then exhale, forward, fold. Breathe in, step back, plank pose. Exhale, squeeze your buns, squeeze your core, bend your elbows, shoulders stay back as you lower all the way down. Untuck your toes. Inhale, lift your chest, your head, and lift your hands off the ground. Elbows reach up towards the sky so you squeeze that space between your shoulder blades. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe in, look forward. Exhale, make your way to the top of the mat. Walking, hopping, whatever. Breathe in, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. And then inhale, come all the way up to stand. Arms lift up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Pausing for a breath. Full body breathing. And then inhale, your arms lift right back up. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, step back, plank pose. If you feel any pressure in your lower back as you move through this, please put your knees on the ground. Exhale, lower down. Breathe in, hands lift, elbows reach up, baby cobra. Back of the neck nice and long. And then downward facing dog. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, make your way to the top. Breathe in, halfway lift up. Exhale, fold. Soft knees, don't lock your legs. Inhale, rise up, arms lift. Exhale, hands to your heart. 4 more times through that, just sinking into your breath, into the way your body moves and can move with your breath when we practice. Breathe in, arms lift up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, step back, plank pose. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift up. Elbows lift, shoulder blades squeeze, core squeezes. Exhale, down dog. Breathe in, make your way to the top of the mat. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up. Arms reach up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Last 2, inhale, arms lift up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, step back, plank pose. Exhale, lower down. Breathe in, baby cobra. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, make your way to the top. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up. Lift your arms up. Exhale, hands land at your heart. Breathe in, lift your arms. Exhale, fold. Breathe in, plank pose. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe in, look forward. Make your way to the top as you exhale. Breathe in, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up. Lift your arms up. Exhale, hands to your heart. And this last one, we're going to do with just me cueing the breath. So inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And as you exhale, leave your hands in lotus at the top. If you need to have your elbows a little more bent, do that. Squeeze your buns, squeeze your core. Thumbs and pinky fingers are resting together. So it looks something like this. And then just breathe here. If your elbows are bent, you can let your shoulders be a little more soft or lifted. If your arms are straight up, let your shoulders lift up by your ears. Breathe here. What muscle groups can you draw in towards the midline, towards the middle of your body for a little more support as you breathe? And then inhale. Reach up as high as you can. Exhale, palms together at your heart. Right knee lifts up. Squeeze your core. If you tend to hike your right hip up, keep it a little lower so your pelvis stays level. Shoulder blades draw back and together. Grip with your left big toe. And as you start to bend into your left knee, keep your left knee dialing out and big toe gripping the floor in opposition. And then slowly, shoulder blades stay together, core squeezes in, reach your right leg, straight back and bend deeply into your left knee. Look down towards the floor, back of the neck nice and long. Full breath in. Exhale, step back. Lower your right knee down to the ground. Lift your hands up. Option to make the lotus hands here. Squeeze your right butt. Right butt, squeeze it so you stretch the front of your right hip. Abdomen draws in so your hip points are lifting up. And smile. And then take a big breath in, lift everything up a little higher. Notice your fingers lifting up and your toes holding the floor. And then exhale, both hands come to your heart as you twist your torso to the left. Don't lose the strength from that right butt. Right butt. And then right elbow comes down to your left knee. Not to just dump weight here, but to it's almost like you're hovering your elbow. Tuck your back toes, lift up the knee. Keep that left big toe gripping, knee dials outward. Right butt squeezes. See if you can open your heart a little more to the left. Look down towards your left foot. Step your right foot up to meet the left. Revolve chair pose. Again, still not dumping the weight into that left leg. Full breath in. Full breath out. And then come all the way up. Left knee lifts up with you. Hands reach up high and then part out to the sides. Keep your pelvis parallel. Core squeezes. Right butt squeezes for stability. Breathe in. Exhale. Bring your hands in and then shift them back as you step back with your left foot. Lower your left heel down and open up warrior two. Check in with your back foot. Your toes can be pointed in any direction that actually feels best for that back leg. especially your knee and your hip. And then instead of arms reaching out wide, bend your elbows. Notice what that does for your shoulder blades. Right knee bends deeply. Grip your right big toe and your right knee dials out. Core draws in for support. Full breath. Choose where you want your gaze to be, your drishti, your point of focus, both mentally and physically with the eyes. And notice your breath. Roll back up onto the tiptoes of that back foot. Both arms lift, lean forward, squeeze your core. Exhale, hands down. Slide your right leg all the way up and back, three-legged down dog. Stack your right hip open over the left. Push out through both of your heels. Maybe there's a little bend in the left knee. Push the ground away from you with your hands. Squeeze your core in to support this shape. Bend your right knee. Squeeze your heel in close, scorpion down dog. And then bring your right knee to the center of your yoga mat, kind of a little bit forward of your belly button. Lift your left foot up. Shift it over to the right edge of your mat. Slide your toes back a little bit. Lower the left knee down. Untuck your toes. Walk your hands under your shoulders. This is not pigeon pose, so don't sink down. Keep lifting your heart up. We're targeting the piriformis a little bit more here. So the sensation we're going for is a stretch that's deep in your right butt. You can even push your legs down a little bit into the ground. Maybe wiggle over into that right hip a little till you feel it. Couple more big breaths. And then tuck your back toes under. Walk your hands forward. Lift that left leg back up. Set the toes down. And step back down dog. Noticing just how your muscle groups tend to work together to help you to float, to help you to check in with both breath and movement. Inhale, plank pose. Squeeze your core, squeeze your glutes. Again, knees can always come down, especially if you're feeling any pressure in the lower back. Bend your elbows. Inhale, baby cobra, hands lift, elbows lift up. And then exhale, down dog. Breathe in, look forward. And as you exhale, you can walk or you can hop to the top. Inhale, halfway lift up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up. Lift your arms up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Left foot lifts. Squeeze your core in, shoulders draw back. Keep your shoulder blades drawing together, abdomen drawn in, and we're going to bend. You're going to bend into your right knee as you reach your left leg back. Right big toe grips the mat as your knee dials out. So the two are moving in opposition of each other. Squeeze your core in, and then slowly step your left foot back. Land the knee down as you lift your arms up, making that lotus flower with your hands. Again, elbows can be bent, or arms can lift up. Squeeze your left butt. Squeeze it, squeeze it. Core draws in to lift your hip points up. We're seeking a little bit of a gentle stretching sensation in the front of your left hip. Again, everyone's anatomy works so differently though. Explore your practice. And then hands come to your heart as you twist just your torso to the right. So core squeezes to make the twist happen. Right shoulder draws back. And then bring your left elbow to your thigh, not dumping, lifting up. Lift that back knee. Keep your right knee deeply bent and power off the tiptoes of your left foot. Breathe here. See if you can hover your elbow. Core draws in to support your pelvis and your lower back. Look down towards the ground. Step your left foot up to meet the right. Revolved chair pose. Lift your chest, squeeze your core. And then inhale, come up. Right knee comes up with you. Arms lift. Pause here. If you're anything like me, that right hip will automatically try to hike. Keep your pelvis level. Or explore both. See how they feel. Get that left leg on board to really support you along with your core. And then using the strength from your exhale and the pace of your exhale, slowly step your right foot back. Warrior 2, settling the right heel down. Check in with your knee and your hip. Which way do you want your back foot to point? Straight out to the side, in a little bit. What feels best to these two? Elbows bend, palms point upwards. Perhaps making little flowers here. Bend your left knee. Grip with your big toe as your left knee dials out. Core squeezes, back leg is powerful. Look forward or off to the side, either or. Choose one point to focus on. Maybe that's a fingertip, and let the rest of your gaze around that fingertip be soft. And then slowly roll up onto the tiptoes of your back foot. Reach your hands forward and then down. Lift your left leg all the way up and back, three-legged down dog. And not a sloppy, relaxed one. But again, explore squeezing everything into center line. So belly button muscles, all the muscles around there, squeeze in. Hands push the ground away from you. Maybe your right knee bends a little, and with your core squeezing, see if you can lift your right hip crease up. Left hip stacks open over the right, but don't shorten the right side body, and bend your left knee. Flex your foot. Breathe here. And then left knee comes into the center of your yoga mat and lowers down. Right foot lifted up. Move it off to the left side and slide your foot back. Lower the knee down. Hips stay floating. Your knee is in the middle instead of off to the side like it normally is in pigeon pose. Slightly different stretch. Knees can push down into the ground, seeking a stretch deep in your left butt. You can wiggle your hips a little to help find that spot. He usually speaks pretty loudly. Breathe. And then bring your hands forward. Lift that right leg. Set it back down onto the mat. Downward facing dog. Your choice to do a vinyasa here or to just pause in down dog and breathe. Sink back into your breath rhythms. I'm going to hold down dog if you all want to move so that I can talk and breathe at the same time. Inhale, look forward. As you exhale, you can step or you can hop to the top. Breathe in, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up. Lift your arms up. Exhale, palms together at your heart. Right knee lifts up. And growing, stretching upwards, up towards the sun as your left foot roots you down into the ground. Your stability, your nourishment. Hands come together at your hearts. And then this time, step back into warrior two. Keep your left knee dialing out and big toe gripping as you step your right foot back. Lower your right heel down. Warrior two, palms facing up. Squeeze your low abdomen in. Shoulders draw back. And notice your shoulder blades when your hands are in this position instead of this position. Maybe you wiggle your fingertips. And then reach your arms out, palms face up. And then just kidding, because your right hand is palm face down. Reach your left hand forward. Squeeze your core in. You want both sides of your torso really supporting you and the whole front part of your core supporting you as your arm reaches forward. And then without letting your hips drop and sink into the joints, bring your left hand down to the ground or elbow to your knee. Keep your core drawing in, left knee dialing out. Extended side angle. And then core squeezes. Sweep all the way up and back. Straighten the left leg. Left arm lifts, right hand down. Reverse triangle. And then both arms reach out wide. Roll up onto the heel of your left foot. Parallel your feet. And then bring your heels in, toes out a little bit. Bend your knees. Bend your elbows. Palms up. Goddess pose. Big toes grip. Knees are trying to dial out and kind of go the same direction as your toes. We don't want them caving way in. Glutes are on board. Core squeezes. Heart lifts up. And breathe here. Maybe sink a little deeper. Maybe shift the weight a little bit side to side. An invitation again for you to explore your practice. Where do you want your arms to be? How do you want your hands and fingertips to move? Do you want to add anything extra in? Sink a little deeper. And then hands come in close by your heart. And then sweep them out wide. Shift into warrior two with your right foot in the front. Bend your elbows. Set your back foot, whatever direction feels right. Breathe here. Say hi to the quads on your right leg. And then roll up onto the tiptoes of your back foot. Hands reach forward, core squeezes in, and then hands down. Step your right foot a foot behind your right wrist. Rotate both feet to the right, so you're on the pinky toe sides of your feet. Toes point to the right. Right arm lifts up, horizon lunge. And then right hand down. Roll back up onto your toes. And then rotate. Wide-legged forward fold. Breathe deeply here. Toes can point in a little bit if you've got tight hamstrings. They can point out a little if that feels better for your knees and your hips. And just let your head and your neck relax here. And then heels in, toes out. Squeeze your core, bend your knees. Sweep your arms up. Goddess pose. Fix your yoga pants. Find a focal point and breathe. Your drishti, where are you focusing? With your breath, with your mind, with your vision. And then warrior 2, back to the top of your mat. Roll up onto the tiptoes of that back foot, arms reach forward. And then hands down. Step your left leg all the way up and back, three-legged down dog. And then left foot sets down. Inhale, look forward, last flow. Exhale, make your way to the top. Breathe in, halfway lift up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up, lift your arms up. Your left leg lifts up. Activate your right foot, big toe digs down. You could totally sag and relax and flop into all of this. Or you could really bring your core in and push your foot down to help your body grow upwards. Full breath in. And as you exhale, slowly step back into warrior 2 with awareness of the way your core supports you stepping back and not letting your knee collapse inwards as you move. Get your feet settled. Check your width. Make sure it doesn't feel too short or too long. Big toe on your front foot grips. Knee dials out. Back leg is fired up and supportive too. Elbows bend. Palms point up. And then reach your arms out wide. Right hand down, left hand stays up. Core squeezes as you reach your right arm forward. Full breath in, bend your right knee, keep it dialing out. Exhale here. And then core squeezes, straighten your right leg, left hand drops down as your right arm lifts up. Steady breath. If you tend to lock out your right leg, bend it a little, just a little, soft knee. And then from here, bend your knee, arms reach out wide, and then parallel both your feet. Move your arms in whatever way makes sense. Heels come in, toes out, arms reach out wide. Goddess pose. Again, if you want your arms reaching out wide, be here. Otherwise, bend your elbows, palms point up. Create flowers with your hands. Maybe shift a little side to side. And then it's warrior 2 to the back of your mat. So right leg straightens, left knee bends, toes point towards the back of your yoga mat. Choose which shape you'd like with your arms. Palms down, up, elbows bent. Maybe hands together. Maybe your shoulders are tired. And then roll up onto the tiptoes of your back foot. Reach both arms forward for a moment. Squeeze, gather. Squeeze your core in. And then exhale, both hands down. Step your left foot about a foot behind your left wrist. Rotate both feet so your toes point to the left, all the way to the left. And then left arm lifts up, horizon lunge. Core squeezes. Your right butt can squeeze a little more to lift you up. And then left hand back down. Rotate to the right. Rotate, rotate, rotate till you're in wide-legged. Forward fold. You can crawl your hands all the way forward this time. And breathe here. You tend to lock out your knees, create a little bit of softness there. If your hammies are tight, turn your toes a little more inwards. If your hands don't touch the ground, great. And then rotate to the top of your yoga mat, bending your right knee. Step your right foot back, downward facing dog. Fingers spread out wide. Lift up high onto your tiptoes. Full breath in. Exhale, heels push down towards the mat. Inhale, lift up tall. Exhale, heels down. Hands push the ground away from you. Inhale, lift up tall onto your tiptoes. Keep pushing the ground away from you. Core squeezes. Push your heels towards the ground. They do not have to connect. And then bend your knees. Slowly lower them down to the ground. If you had blankets or pillows, grab them. Put them right close to your knees. Knees can go out a little wider. And then shift your hips back. Child's pose. All nice and propped up with your head resting on one side, not face down. If you don't have pillows or blankets, great. Explore child's pose. Arms in whatever shape makes sense. And then just be here and experience the way your body naturally slows itself back down. Your heartbeat, your pulse, and how can you explore your breath to help everything slow back down? Invite in a little more oxygen. A slow exhale helps your nervous system understand it's safe to relax. So play with those. Maybe you listen to different sounds happening around you. Maybe you focus on the points of your body that are resting on the ground. Two more big breaths here. And then slowly, first of all, if you want to stay here. This is a great spot to be. Otherwise, we're going to make our way onto our backs, supine. Knees hug into your chest for a moment. And then set both your feet down to the ground. Hands down as well. And then just lift your hips up. High bridge pose this time, stretching the fronts of your hips. Squeeze your core, squeeze your butt. Full breath in, lift a little higher by squeezing your butt. And then lower all the way down. Both knees hug into your chest. Head comes up towards your knees for a moment. Big hug. And then head and shoulders and arms rest back down. And both your knees lower to the right side. Fully breathing in and fully breathing out. Breath in and breath out. And then your knees come back to the middle, right over to the other side. Full breath in and slow exhale. One more time. Inhale. Full capacity. Inhale. Everything expands. And then exhale out to that last drop of air. Bring your knees back to the middle. And we'll choose whatever shape you'd like for your Shavasana tonight. Today, this morning. I find a pillow underneath the knees. It's a little more supportive for the lower back and a little more restful. Hands can be on your stomach, down by your sides. Are you needing to feel more cozy or more open and expansive? Maybe one hand on your stomach and the other hand on your heart is the place to be. You choose. Options are to also either lay on your stomach and place your cheek on one side, or you can even lay on your side and use a blanket or a pillow to support your head. What kind of support are you needing right now? The rest, the pause, and the growth. Or rather, the being fully present with each part of your experience. Noticing the solidness of the earth beneath you, of the ground. And letting that stability do all the work. There's nothing you need to do to hold your body together right now. Just breathe. And just be.